Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 2nd of May. So starting with the euro dollar, and well, yesterday we saw the 1st of May, we saw a sell-off day. I could have rhymed there. I used to be a poet, if only I know it. So where are we from here? We're pretty close to that monthly S1 if we continue selling off. The important factor I've been looking for, and I was talking about it the last couple of days, is this daily 200, but it's actually closed below that, and I expected maybe a reaction and a bounce more so, but it's actually it's closed off below that. So now, well, shorter term is a potential either consolidation or more of a bounce from where we're sitting. There's no real divergence on this 4 hourly sitting there or anything to worry about from that perspective. There wasn't even a divergence on the euro. It's bit on the euro on the 60-minute. It's been putting in higher lows. So with this RSI pattern here, it's just putting higher lows in. So well, we've got the daily pivot not far ahead. That may just be tapped shortly. Interesting to watch reaction thereafter. I mean, maybe the 34 or something like this we may get a bit of a reaction for. Would rather be on the downside with this if it's going to go that way. We get ever further away from the weekly pivot, so that doesn't look such a draw at the moment. Now today, news-wise, we have for Europe, which will affect the euro dollar rather, we've got the ADP non-farms at 1:15, and then the FOMC statement of funds rate at 7 PM this evening. Now that could, the latter, so we'll see how the day, it wouldn't be too surprising we get a bit of chop today, but we'll see how it runs. It did, bearing in mind it was Labour Day through most of Europe yesterday, it still ran off nicely, so we'll see how it goes today. I'm expecting, as I say, a little bit more of a bounce at the moment. Right, but looking for short opportunities. Cable, the pound dollar. The pound dollar is still heading down to its daily 200. Not quite made it yet. Big down day again yesterday, consolidating around its lows at the moment. No divergences sitting there on the 4 hourlies. Oh, hourlies, there may be a bit of a arguable divergence kicking in there. It's at the moment again pushing towards maybe its daily pivot, and again I may just let this happen. There's not that many points there, or there probably is a few more. I'll watch this morning though, post 8 o'clock, and see what happens. As I said, with both these markets, the euro and the pound, we could see a bit more of a bounce. If it just consolidates, I'll look for the breakdown, but I'd probably rather be in the euro. Now, UK wise data this morning, we've got some construction PMI coming out. Not such a big news event, but all the same, if this comes in a bit negative, it could also add to the woes of the pound at the moment. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen kicking up, pushing towards that daily 200. Again, this is one of those that's got the market that's well below, the weekly pivot well below even, and it's starting to continue that way. Arguably there's some divergence on the 4 hourlies, but there's still the potential for this shove up yet. Now it's not even really consolidating, it's still pushing up again at the moment. A bit of a retrace through the Asian session there. Daily pivot ticked off. It may just carry on pushing up towards yesterday's highs, this morning's highs even, and further. It does look relatively bullish at the moment, but as I say, there is a tad of divergence sitting between the highs there, previous highs, and this morning's highs. So that is there, but that can be there and continue to be there for some time. There is quite a bit of distance between it in terms of time. Okay, Aussie dollar. So well, another sell-off again. The US dollar strength across these markets is pretty significant. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flick onto the dollar index. The only reason I wanted to do this is check the. Yep, it's gone through. I was just looking to see where it was with its daily 200. It's right the way through that. That's fine. Right, let's get back. Aussie dollar then. So nothing significant there. Maybe a bit of 4-hour divergence here, kicking in. Double bottoms pushing up. Now it's quite a solid old move here at the moment, and I'm still wary. I know some people will be wanting to try and get long on this. I'm still wary of the high percentage of retail longs. It could all go wrong again, and there's a lot of sell orders sitting above. So we'll see how that pans out. But at the moment, it is getting a bit of a bounce going on, which, having seen what it's done of late, is, well, it's had almost, apart from one up day, it's had a hell of a sell-off. But we'll see how that pans out. I shall stay clear of it, I think, for now anyway, because I'd rather be on the sell side of it. But it's pulling up. Okay, Canadian dollar tapping around these moving averages here on the dailies. It pitched up yesterday afternoon again. Looks like, if anything, it wants to roll over towards that monthly pivot. It's not that far below. It's just sitting on this in this consolidation phase here. It may bounce again, and I would watch that carefully. If it starts sort of breaking, there's a shorter term trend line across the highs here. If it starts breaking across there where it's got the daily pivot, it may push on back towards yesterday's highs again. But for now, it does look like there's the potential for a rollover. That's it for me. There's no other, as I mentioned, the news, key news, just to revise that. 9:30 construction PMI UK. 115 ADP non-farm payrolls, lighter news, but still may create a bit of volatility. Crude oil inventories for Canada, maybe Australia will see a bit of price action there as well, with those crude oil inventories coming out at 3:30. But then the big news of the day, the FOMC at 7 PM. There we go. Have a great one. Bye for now.